Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into Ankur Wariku's absolutely eye-opening analysis on a really dangerous addiction creeping up on the modern generation. We're talking about the invisible debt trap. We're going to break down exactly how this system works and why so many of us are unknowingly getting sucked right into it. So, let's jump right in. Picture this. It's the second of the month. You look at your phone and boom, a beautiful notification pops up. Your hard-earned salary of 62,000 rupees just hit your bank account. It's an amazing feeling, right? You feel totally financially independent, like you're on top of the world. You go to sleep that night feeling perfectly secure.
But then you wake up the next morning and it's an absolute nightmare. Your phone is flooded with bank alerts, your rent got deducted, your credit card bill was on autopay, those zero-cost EMIs kicked in, and your pay later apps took their cut. That glorious 62,000 rupees from last night? Yeah, you're now down to just 400 rupees. The month hasn't even really started and your account is completely drained. It's a terrifying reality for so many people.
Section 1. The reality of modern debt. Now, looking at Wariku's data, the statistics here are honestly startling. Gen Z, so anyone born between 1997 and 2012, is carrying a massive 41% of this specific consumer debt burden. And get this, they make up 60% of the users on fintech lending platforms. That's not just a small trend, that is a systemic crisis. Casual borrowing has become so incredibly normalized that people don't even realize the danger they're in. Section 2. The 3 major debt traps. Okay, let's dive into this. Wariku identifies 3 specific pillars that the industry has designed to make borrowing dangerously easy for us. We're talking about credit cards, buy now, pay later, and fintech personal loans. Now, I want to be clear, impartially speaking, these tools aren't inherently evil, but they are incredibly easy to weaponize against consumers. Take credit cards, for example. The reality here is just wild. According to the source, interest rates often hover between 36 and 48%. So let's say you have a 1 lakh rupee bill, and you decide to just pay the minimum amount due because it feels easier. Well, at those rates, it will take you an unbelievable 21 years to clear that 1 lakh debt. 21 years. It is literally a quicksand trap. Then, you've got the buy now, pay later or BNPL illusion. You order 499 rupees biryani, use the pay later option, and it feels exactly like a seamless UPI transaction, right? But it's not. It is an actual unsecured loan. And yes, it is hitting your credit history and RBI logs. These tiny, seemingly harmless purchases add up completely silently. And rounding out the trio are fintech personal loans. The average size of these loans is ridiculously small, just around 9,700 rupees. And that's exactly the trap. Because the number is so low, taking out the loan feels completely harmless. That is, until you find yourself stuck in this crazy cycle where you're constantly taking out a loan on one app just to pay off the debt on another. Section 3. The social media bait. So why exactly is this generation taking on all this rapid debt? Well, it's totally psychological. Wariku outlines some very specific lifestyle baits. We're seeing people fund 1.5 lakh rupee weddings purely for social validation from strangers, or they're using travel now, pay later just to post photos from Paris on their feed, or buying the absolute newest iPhone on EMI just to keep up appearances. It's all about the status. And then there's the whole no-cost EMI myth. Let's deconstruct this impartially. The reality is, it's never actually free. You're getting hit with an 18% GST on the interest component, hidden processing fees, and you almost always lose out on reward points. It's basically a psychological trick to get you to buy things you might not actually be able to afford. Section 4. The hidden long-term costs. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal with a few small loans? And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why it matters. Let's say you casually miss a tiny 2,800 rupee EMI today. That immediately drops your CIBIL score. Fast forward a decade when you're trying to buy a house, someone with a good score gets an 8.5% home loan. But you're stuck with a 9.5% rate because of that old default. To put that into perspective, the cost of that 1% interest hike is absolutely monumental. Over a 20-year home loan, you are paying an extra 15 to 18 lakh rupees out of pocket. Literally, 15 lakh rupees just vanished, purely because of one old, forgotten 2,800 rupee mistake. It's wild. And it doesn't even stop at housing. The source highlights a really startling trend. Companies are actually pulling CIBIL reports during the hiring process now. So an old defaulted loan from years ago, It could literally cost you a job offer today, even if you nailed the interview.
Section 5. The corporate winners. If we follow the money here and look at this impartially, who's actually winning? It's the massive financial institutions. Lending companies are pulling in billions in yearly revenue. How? By aggressively pushing this "you deserve this" marketing narrative. They are directly capitalizing on a generation that is completely terrified of missing out, profiting immensely from this whole culture of comparison.
Section 6. Breaking the golden cage.
So, what's the ultimate takeaway from Wariku's analysis? It's a really empowering call to reject this entire debt-funded illusion. Break out of that golden cage. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. Are you living for yourself, or are you just living for your social media feed? Are you spending for your own joy, or just to impress people you barely know? Becoming aware of this invisible trap is absolutely the first step to escaping it. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer.